Welcome back to Ghost Tired Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today we take another deep dive into Hulu. And real quick before we get into this, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, because that really does help this channel out so much. So on this episode of Horrorween, I thought it would be fun to go digging into Hulu and come up with 10 things that are fun to watch for Halloween. And with that, let's get to the list. Alright, to start this list off, we go to What We Do in the Shadows.
He awakens. Very cool, Master. Very scary.
So I just discovered What We Do in the Shadows. I have heard people talking about it for a while, especially the movie, which I still haven't seen, but I've heard great things about, so I definitely plan to check it out. But I just recently discovered the series that's on Hulu, and it is awesome, man. I'm absolutely in love with this series. It's so funny. It looks amazing. The actors are brilliant.
Last night, there were all these people down there, half drunk.
Well, where did they find the alcohol?
No, they were half drunk. They'd been half drunk.
If you've got something to say, then damn well say it.
It's not hygienic.
They're witty and charming, yet they don't forget to have a fart joke here and there. It's just a great little show that, especially for Halloween season, is perfect. It's about these vampires who are living in the modern world, but they're being filmed by a documentary team, and they just go about their lives doing their everyday normal life, right? But they're vampires in the modern world, and they don't fit in very well, and it just is, it's just so funny. So it's a show you could definitely watch year round, but since it is the spooky season, I think now is a great time to get on board with this because it really is a great little show.
I've got my cake caught in the door.
Well, yank it out!
All right, now we go to Depraved.
I figured out how to bring them back. And so it begins.
So Depraved is a modern day Frankenstein story. It follows a lot of the same story points as Frankenstein. It just takes place in the modern world nowadays with our technology, our science, that kind of thing. This is a small movie though, so don't go into this expecting like this big blockbuster type of level of graphics, CGI, whatever. It is a very small movie, but they do a great job with what they have to work with. This movie gets very creepy and disturbing, has some scenes that are skin crawling and just make you a little bit uncomfortable. It does a very great job of adapting this story to fit our world. As long as you go into this not expecting some big, huge movie and keep your expectations low, I think you can definitely have a great time with this movie.
It was you. It was you who made me what I am.
All right, now we go to Spell.
Where I grew up, it's another world from this one.
My father was stuck in time a little bit.
What was he like?
He was religious, just differently, like superstitious.
So I recently discovered this movie. I remember when it came out last year and it was in theaters for the brief moment theaters were open, and I really wanted to go see it. I actually headed to the theater to go check it out, but I forget what happened. For some reason, I ended up not being able to see it that night, and I regret not seeing it in theaters, especially now after watching it, because this is a great little movie that I think a lot of people are sleeping on.
Where am I?
You was in a plane accident.
What about my family?
Baby, you were the only one found.
It deals with voodoo and magic and witchery and all of that, yet keeping it grounded and in the real world that we can identify with. It's got some great body horror moments, some creepy things, just a lot of great stuff going on in this movie, especially for a movie that nobody's talking about. So if you've yet to check out Spell, I highly recommend checking it out.
This is for your own good.
Next up, the series The Strain.
Throughout my life, I've learned what it feels to cross a line. That line, it has been crossed now.
So The Strain is a series that I watched a while back, and I just started rewatching it again because it's that good of a series. And I thought, you know what? This is one that not enough people talk about. I know when it first came out, there was a little bit of a buzz, but not the level that you would think. I think it's brilliant. I really, really enjoy it, especially the first season. It's just a great show with lots of cool body horror, lots of cool vampires, just all this crazy stuff going on. But what's really cool about it to me is how it puts a fresh spin and fresh feel on vampires.
I have seen this disease before. All the passengers dead and alive. They must be destroyed.
Because vampires have been done to death, right? I mean, we see them in all kinds of different franchises. But the way it does it in this, and the way it treats it like this viral infection, and just everything that it does, I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but just everything that it does with it is very fresh and fun and original. And I think if you've never checked it out, now is a great time to get on board. But even if you have, like me, it's a great one for something to watch in the background or whatnot this time of year, because it has just got all the spooky things going on. I love it, and I highly recommend it.
He's here.
Next up, the animated film Addams Family.
What a lovely morning.
So I love animated movies, especially ones that have to do with spooky, creepy Halloween, this and that stuff. But I remember seeing Addams Family when it came out a year or so ago, 2 years ago, I guess now, and immediately fell in love with it because it's got this really unique way about it. And it wasn't until just not that long ago that I discovered one of the things that makes this feel unique and original is the fact that it is using the original Addams Family designs.
Wednesday, what do you have there?
I'm not sure.
There's usually a murderous clown attached to the other end of these.
Because it's using the original drawings of what the original Addams Family comic looked like, and it adapted it, put it in a computer, scanned it kind of thing, and is now creating this modern day version of what they looked like and were like in the beginning. And I love that idea. I think that's so cool because so much we try to refine and improve things, and it's fun to see something kind of take a step back and go back to its roots and have a little bit of that more rudimentary, less refined feel and look about it. Either way, if you have kids, this is a great one to watch together because I don't even have any kids anymore. My kids all grown up, and yet I still had a blast watching this movie. So adults are going to enjoy it, but kids are definitely going to enjoy this. It's just a great one, and I love the fact that it's available right now on Hulu.
Totally awesome.
All right, now we go to Trick.
It's your turn, Trick.
People want a monster that they can fear.
So Trick is a pretty low budget slasher that isn't super special and original, but I still have a great time watching this movie. For one, it's got Halloween strewn all over it, and there's not enough Halloween slashers, at least not for me. I don't know if there ever could be too many, but there's definitely not enough that I think are decently done, and this one is. And if you go into this expecting a Halloween, you know, like John Carpenter kind of thing, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go into this just wanting to get the Halloween feels all over, with a slasher running around killing people and some blood and gore, and a few little unique spins here and there, then I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't know, maybe I'm on an island with this one, but I always have fun with it. But I do recognize that it's not a well done movie by any means, but still one that I think you can have fun with.
But this is just pure evil.
All right, now we go to Stephen King's It.
Why are you guys anywhere?
We're sort of a club. Yeah, the Losers Club.
So this is the miniseries, the Stephen King It miniseries, which I know is beloved by some and hated by others, and I'm okay with whichever side of that fence you fall on. But for those of us like me who love this, I love that it's available on Hulu because I think this is a great one to watch for Halloween. It looks special. It has just all these cool old-timey 1950s things going on, which I always have fun with. just the creepy stuff that's involved in this. Yes, it isn't the Halloween season per se in this movie, but it does have plenty of creepy moments and elements, as well as Pennywise himself looks amazing. I just love this, especially if you're looking for something that's not too hardcore, not too gory, is toned back, but still a little bit creepy and a good time, especially when to watch with the kids. I don't think you can go wrong with this. I know this was one of the first horror movies I ever saw, and I grew up fine. See?
You're not real! You're not real!
It's just got that Halloween horror movie blanket thing going for me, and I love to relax at the end of a long day in the Halloween season and watch movies like this. So I think it's a perfect one for this time of year. Next up, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Here occurred the frightening and shocking history of Prince Dracula and the woman he loved.
So this is an amazing movie. This is one that is, in my opinion, one of the greatest horror movies ever made, and especially when it comes to vampires. It's my second favorite vampire movie ever made. I just love this movie.
The power of his evil desire has no end.
Just this romantic, elegant way that this movie unfolds. Everything from the creature designs, just the way that Gary Oldman portrays Dracula is just amazing, beautifully done. I cannot get over the way the special effects and the scenery and just how gorgeous this movie is. No matter how many times I watch it, I'm always just blown away. I mean, it's done by Francis Ford Coppola, for God's sake. You know, the dude that did The Godfather. I mean, that's all you need to know.
Can take on many forms. He is both young and old.
This movie is definitely a change of pace from the other movies that I talked about on this list, but if you're wanting something that's a little bit of a slow burn and just this amazing adventure type of situation, you cannot go wrong this time of year with putting on Bram Stoker's Dracula. All right, now we go to the series Monsterland.
When you were a little baby, there's a million yous you could be.
So Monsterland is a series that really people have been sleeping on. It is just so well done and so powerful in so many ways. I've really been blown away by how few people I hear talk about this series. Now, if you're looking for something fun this time of year, this is really not the thing to watch. But if you're wanting something that's powerful, well written, directed, acted, looks amazing, and deals with all kinds of monsters in different scenarios, then this is one to definitely check out. This movie deals with a lot of real world issues. It puts monsters on the faces of these characters, right? But it really is dealing with real world situations, stuff that me and you deal with and see in the real world all the time. And it really is done in a beautiful way, in a powerful way, yet it does go pretty dark and pretty disturbing at times. I just think it's a great watch, and every time I get a chance to recommend it to people, I will, because it's just that well done and really that overlooked. All right, and then last but not least is my favorite vampire movie of all time, and that is 30 Days of Night. So 30 Days of Night, like I said, is definitely my favorite vampire movie. It is absolutely fucking vicious. And that's what I love about it, because it talks about vampires the way they were intended. These monstrous creatures, the way they were talked about in all the old lore. They were monsters. They were scary, brutal, horrible, awful creatures. And yet somehow along the way, we've made them into these sexy, sparkling, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, but that's not what vampires were intended to be like.
Board the windows. Try to hide. They're coming.
They? Who are they?
And that's what I love about 30 Days of Night, because in the whole craze of Twilight, out of nowhere comes this savage as fuck vampire movie where Josh Hartnett is fighting these vampires up in Alaska because it's 30 days of nothing but night, and basically vampires ascend on this little tiny town and just start slaying everyone. It's savage, bloody, brutal, and just amazing. I love this movie, and now that I'm talking about it, you know what, I'm gonna go watch it again tonight. I love this movie so much, and if you've never seen this and you're a fan of vampire movies or just gory, fun monster movies, I think you'll definitely love this. Either way, it's a great watch this time of year, and that's why it's on this list. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know if there's anything that I missed off of Hulu that I really need to check out. Either way, I just love hearing from you guys. And if you could also do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel. And when I post videos like this, and I post videos like this at least 2 times every week, I also want to give a massive, huge, enormous thank you to my patrons, because you guys, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember guys, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.